What is up there, SEO pros? So for the first time in like a week and a half, I finally have decent internet to be able to do a stream. I've been trying to get some implementation done, which I have been doing, but it's been off video since the internet in Costa Rica has been extremely slow. But I finally got a hotel that's decent internet. So either way, today what we're going to be doing is an audit for an anime website, anime clothing store. And this is a little adult related. I thought I was going to be not doing this live because there are some things that seem a little precarious to be showing, but it's not like too bad, so I think it's okay. Now, if these people were completely naked, I would definitely not be doing this. But this is definitely going to be one of our more interesting audits because I have never done anything for something like this. I've definitely done audits for e-commerce websites. Also, I did make a poll in the Facebook group, so anybody who asked a question there, I will be answering that at the end of this video if you want to stick around for the end of that, or just skip ahead to the end of this audit, and I'll be answering those questions. I think there was like 40 questions in there, which was crazy. And we already got some comments. Clark saying, how long are you staying in Costa Rica? And I don't think I'm going to be staying here much longer, although I may be coming back. I'm in the middle of like startup phase for this business. I'm going to be starting an agency locally, so I might be coming back to where I was living pretty soon. And that's a different story. So either way, let's just dive into it. The first thing we always do is we grab the URL and we open up Screaming Frog. And I haven't switched over to the pro version on this. It's actually, the pro version's on my desktop. So yeah. The other thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up our notepad, and I just want to make sure that I don't have any passwords showing. I'm just going to open up this text editor because I think it's going to be a little bit better. That was the other audit. I'm not even used to using a Mac, by the way, guys. I'm used to using a Windows, but I got a Mac because I was using a Surface Pro, which was not cutting it. And also, unfortunately, I'm not able to see the comments unless I switch back and forth. So I might be switching back and forth throughout this to be able to check out your guys' comments. Actually, I think I can do a pop-out chat, but I'm still going to have to switch. Either way. Okay, so Screaming Frog opened. Let's put the URL in there. Oh, it's still loading. Oh, there we go. And the first thing I've already noticed off the website is that the above the fold logo is taking up way too much space. We do not want that happening. I don't know why it's taking so long to open up Screaming Frog. So I'm just going to say SEO Audit. I think it's Harajuku Fever. I'll check that out in a second. Oops. Lines in here. Ah, the loading time's killing me. This is what you get when you switch from like a super custom built computer to to a not custom built computer. So the other thing that we're going to start looking at is the Moz bar for the on page on the home page. We'll just open up that. We can see the URL is HTTPS, which is great. Page title is 80 characters, so that's a little bit long. Let's see if I can get that notepad going yet. I don't want to say all this stuff without doing the notes for it. Oh. Cool. Okay. Maybe I can open up a new notepad. By the way, if you guys need help with your SEO or you want an audit, you can head over to chaserunner.com and I can get you in there through my calendar. All right, so here we go. One, take or reduce above the fold logo. This is taking up way too much valuable space on every page. Two, reduce title tags like the one on the home page to be under 75 characters. Currently at 80. That's all easy stuff. Like we can put the website in here now. Start. Cool. All right, let's get back over to there. So just continuing to look at the on page, the meta description. We don't want like to be capitalizing every single word like that. So meta descriptions should not be capitalized unnecessarily. I can get an auto spell for that. Like the one on homepage. And we're going to pick all this stuff up through Screaming Frog as well, but I'm just, usually you'll see a reoccurring theme just by looking at the homepage, which is why I always start there. No H1 tags, so no H1 tags on homepage. Need to get that set up. Generally what you can do and just replicate what's in title with the H1. All right. No bold and italics. Actually, sorry, no bold, but there is italics. And then the alt text looks pretty decent. I don't know why there's hashtags in the alt text, but whatever. I don't think that's necessary. General attributes, I got a 4.7 second load time, so let's go ahead and check that out. While that goes, we're going to go to the next one. So link metrics, we can already see there's a page authority of 1, domain authority of 1, so we're not going to go into that. The markup, it looks like we are using schema, so let's just check that out. Let's also check out the OG data. And this is stuff I do every single audit, guys. So if you're wondering like if this sounds confusing, just watch some more of my audits and you'll see like this is literally the same thing I do in all of my audits, just to make sure that these things are going okay. George, hey all, yeah, what's up, man? Film trailer, what's up, dude? Daily info, hi, do H tags really matter? H1 tags do, definitely. I don't know about the other tags, but you definitely want to have at least one H1 tag per page if possible. I don't know why that wouldn't be possible. So we got organization markup, but it's not fully filled out, so need to finish schema markup for homepage. Not using same as markup. Oops. And I'd also recommend getting website markup going as well. I mean, it's not necessary, but it's just something that's like, if you can, it's not that, it doesn't take too long to do. And then you can see in here, we got some weird coding, basic page needs, title and description. This is pretty interesting. I actually wonder if this is custom coded, because that does make it a little bit more difficult to fix these things if it is. Not too difficult, depending on what you're using. Let's view page source and see if we can find any WP stuff, if it's WordPress. Type in WP, and it looks like it's Shopify. So I actually don't know how schema markup would work with Shopify. You might have to use microdata, but even then it's not big of a deal. Okay, also I'm sure this frickin' what's it called? The slider, probably taking up a big load time. So I don't know why oh, there we go. So page speed insights. So we're not using compression, we're not using, we're not compressing the images, it doesn't look like. We're not using browser caching. I don't know if Shopify is self-hosted, but if you can get a better host, I don't know how it really works with Shopify. I always recommend WP Engine, not because I have affiliate links, which I actually never promote, but because WP Engine's just, oh, but they're not WordPress, so I don't know what you would use, maybe like Cloudflare or something. All right, okay, so we're gonna go into here. Seriously need to do speed optimizations on website, which means like image compression, or I'll just put, for example, image compression, possibly getting rid of sliders, etc. I mean, a lot of people really like the sliders, so you know, if you want to keep that, it's fine, but it's just something to like look at. Like, you don't really need them to get conversions, and they usually take up a huge load time. Also, there's no real call to actions here. I mean, the pictures are call to actions, but there isn't really any call to action. So if possible, if you are going to keep the slider, I would at least put CTAs on the slider or somewhere below. Also, there isn't much text besides the images on the homepage. So, I mean, even just some intro text explaining what this site's about is going to be really important. So I'd say like at least like 100, 300 words at the minimum. So I would try to put text on on homepage, 100 to 300 words, explaining what the website is about. Also, perhaps explaining similar pages or popular products. That way, you can get link silos going. Silos going to other important pages. Now you have links going to the other important pages, but they aren't contextual. They're all image based. So it's a little bit better to have them where they're actually contextually based, but whatever. Other than that, I think we're just going to check out the OG data, which looks like hasn't really been set up that great. I mean, I guess it has, but the image is getting cut off. So the OG data on website, or at least the homepage, needs to be optimized as well for social signal optimization. All right, let's check our comments really quick, see if we got any. Oh, wow. We got film saying my site, inkmoney.club, SEO checker analyze, question mark. Not sure what you're asking me there, man. Sorry about that. If you want an audit, I do them for $200. If you wanted to get one of those, you could go to my website and check that out. Chris says, hey SEOs, dude. Daily says, I implemented schema on WordPress site with a plugin, Google Webmaster Tool. I see the errors, author missing, update missing. Please help. So I would check out the structured data testing tool and see if you have it all set up correctly. Chris says, I wish I had a mentor. I guess Chase is a tiny bit busy, I think you're about to say. And that is very true. A lot of stuff I'm doing right now, including Costa Rica. Okay, so back to here. That's pretty much it for the homepage. I mean, we're going to look at some other stuff like the overall, keywords and that kind of stuff. So for instance, we have the brand, then we got the best kawaii and harajuku anime fashion store, and then we got the brand again, so we don't have to put that twice. And then we also got some pretty interesting data from Search Console. I was looking at this and I'm like, wait, what the heck happened right here? So I'm hoping this doesn't correlate into like getting 1,000 links getting pointed to this, because we do not want to get penalized. So one of the things I am going to do is just check out the links really quick on this website. So we'll just grab their URL and plug them into Ahrefs. You know. So while that's going, let's go check out some of what's being indexed. So we can check out, so here's the thing, is within an hour I can't look at everything because there's just so much, like especially all these different pages that on a page by page basis you'd want to like really kind of analyze what's going on, like for instance the site architecture, the pages that are being indexed, that kind of stuff. But I'm going to kind of look at it from more of an overview level, and then if these people wanted to hire me, I could go and look at these things on a more granular level. But ideally, I just do the hour-long audits to find the most important things right off the bat. So one of those things you can do is go to site : and then the name of the site. And then we can actually see what's being indexed. So we got 1,900 results. And the thing that I like to check with this to make sure this correlates with what's actually being indexed is just to check out a sitemap if they have it. So we'll do that, their name, and then do like a /sitemap.xml. Looks like we got it. So here is, looks like a list of different sitemaps. Now, if we were to go into these, we can actually do another one like this, and I think it'll pull it up, the one of them. And ideally, I think you only want like 2 sitemaps, but I think they only have 2, and the other ones are like collection pages. Not. Okay, so this is kind of one of those sitemaps where it shows the last updated, and we got pages about us. So I'm wondering if that's the actual URL. I'm hoping that's not the, because you just want /about us. So that's one of those site architecture problems that we're looking at from the overview standpoint. So yeah, it is. So, I mean, I would have uncovered that pretty fast here just by going through these different things, but you don't really want page levels to be like that, like /pages /about us. I mean, because that doesn't make sense, because about us is a top level page. So we really want to also look at site URL architecture, because pages like these should be top level. Just put that link there. I don't know how easy of a fix that is on Shopify, but also the thing is with Shopify, you can actually get a WordPress website and integrate it with a Shopify plugin, I believe. So I don't know why people wouldn't do that, because you get a lot more control, but that's just me. Okay, so let's go back to the index. We're just going to keep uncovering things as we go through this. Go back over here. So we got search, collections, pages. I'm just looking at, like, you know, some of the basic stuff. What we don't want to see is like duplicate content. So one of the things that you can find as duplicate content is if you go to something like page 2 and there isn't something called a rel next or rel prev tag. And what that is it kind of explains to Google that this series of pages are all related to the main page 1. If you don't have the rel next, rel prev, Google just looks at all of these pages as duplicate content, really. Or thin, maybe not duplicate. Yeah, I think duplicate. I don't know. So let's check if there's the rel next. Rel canonical, that's good. Alternate. And there's the rel prev. So that's perfect. And I think Shopify does that by default, but you just want to make sure that that's in there. All right, so we don't have to worry as much about that stuff. Shoes, FAQ. So I just like to go through like the first 5 search results, and then I'll actually put in like custom like queries that a lot of people usually don't know index. Like for instance, author pages. So this looks all pretty decent. So the next thing, like I said, is we're going to want to go into here, do a space after the site : name of website, and do author. So the author is not being indexed, which is great. Now let's check out categories. It doesn't look like categories are being indexed, but it looked like something else under the name of categories. I think it was collections. You'll see there's a lot with collections in it. Now the thing that we want to watch out for is we don't want to have collections and then the URL and then also just the URL. So we're hoping that if we look at like new arrivals, that's not going to be like another URL where it's without collections, if that makes sense. So what we'll do is we'll just grab that, put that in there. And all of these start with collections, I believe. This one doesn't say collections, but I think it just cut that part off. Yeah, so that has it. So these URLs are kind of long. Collections, new arrivals, and products. I mean, it makes sense, but the big thing is really these URLs right here, the actual page URLs. So collections, new arrivals, and products are fine, but when you start listing out items that are like 5 to, what is it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 words long, you want to keep your URLs like 3 to 4 words, or like 3 to 5 words really max. So try to start keeping product URLs 3 to 5 characters max. Cool. Got what you guys are saying in the comments. For some reason it's taking a second to populate. Maybe you guys just aren't commenting. Wondering if this stream's okay because it's saying like a red. I'm wondering if this stream's okay. It's saying YouTube is not receiving enough video. We'll just have to check it out after. The problem with the internet, even though this is like the best internet in Costa Rica, it's still really terrible. But it's still way better than what I had. So also with these pages, I mean, it's so hard to get even to the text because you have the breadcrumbs, then you have the title, and then you have a huge image. So really just making need to start reducing above the fold media so people can instantly start reading what the page is about. And this is probably going to be even worse on mobile, so we don't want the user experience to lag from that. And one of the things we can do is we can go into analytics and actually see how bad this is suffering from Google. So you'll see the bounce rate's actually pretty decent, 37%, but we'd actually have to look at the individual pages. Either way, that would probably even go down if we reduce the above the fold content. And then also, it looks like we're getting a lot of traffic from Instagram, which is cool. So let's check out these clicks. So it looks like we got 180 clicks, which I'm assuming are related to brand, probably after some sort of branding thing on Instagram. We can actually check out that exact date by going to 4/5/17. So set date range, custom, whoops. And then we would go to forward, 4, 5, or actually, sorry. Was that it? I think it was in March. I screwed that one up. It's definitely not the 17th. Or 6, 7. Date rate or April. And then we can go to queries. And yeah, it's all for brands. So that's probably something to do with some sort of branding campaign. Just interesting to look at that stuff, because if it was something to do with search results, then like not with the brand, then we would be able to see maybe something going on with their rankings. Maybe they hit some like a really good keyword. And then in terms of their URLs, it looks like they're not getting too many, so we don't have to worry too much about that. I was just making sure that they weren't like buying links. And then we could actually go over to new and see what links are being acquired over time as well. You can see right here we got 2, showing 1. Maybe it's from the same domain, but it doesn't look like these websites are too shady. All from this. Maybe I have to. These look like. I mean, if there was just thousands of links, then we probably want to look through those and maybe run a link disinfection, but that's something that I would just probably recommend. All right, let's check out Screaming Frog and see what we can find there. Oh, it looks like we got some comments. Jan says, hi Chase, what's up Jan? Kyle said, Shopify uses pages by default, don't know if it can be changed. That's totally a bummer. Jan says, it's laggy, only runs smooth at 240. Oh, whatever. Daily says, your voice is breaking. The breaking is driving me nuts. Sounds like it's breaking, but it's... Oh, I wonder if it's this filter I have on OBS. Remove like background noise. See? I think I put like a noise gate on here. Yeah, I'll try taking that off. Maybe that'll fix it. Testing. Hopefully that fixed it. All right. Okay. So next thing we got is the Screaming Frog crawl, like I was saying. So let's go over there. So now we're going to look at like the overview of the website. Like I said, we could go through all of these pages individually, which would probably be ideal to just kind of find a correlating theme that's happening in between these. For instance, like if the catalog pages aren't showing text, a lot of it's going to be around content too. So a lot of these pages, they should have intro content instead of just pictures, which means like, like I said, 100 to 300 words per page, or at least on the most valuable pages, and then actually figuring out what these keywords are targeting in a topical sort of way. So instead of it just being t-shirts, it would be like anime t-shirts, because that's like the main stuff they're targeting is anime clothing. So for the topical seating, you would want to go for things that are related. So need to work on topical seating for main pages, which means we need to start adding variations of main keywords we are targeting to page titles and other on-page elements like heading tags, anchor or URLs, etc. And then also need to start adding text to pages to explain what they are about. Currently, they are all just a bunch of images, which isn't bad. It just could be improved with the text. Okay. So let's go to Screaming Frog. So Screaming Frog's really easy or it makes audits really easy. Now, I don't think we were able to crawl all the pages because I don't have the full version of this on this laptop right now, but we can at least get a common theme going. So the first things you want to look at, really not the first things you want to look at, but the first things you can look at, because this is usually the first things that Screaming Frog categorizes for you, is the status codes. And basically what that means is we're looking at if there's any 404s, 301s, looks like they're pretty good, so we're not have to worry about that. The next thing we actually should have looked at first was the titles. So if we look in here, we can see like all the different things that we're using for our title tags. And really we just don't want to see duplicate title tags. We're hoping that a lot of these are unique. They look pretty decent, but we can dive further into these in a second by looking at right here, the title lengths. So this is some easy stuff you can start doing. For instance, if there are title tags that are under 75 or under 55 characters usually, you're going to want to make those longer, and if they're over 75 characters, you're going to make them shorter. So I'm going to say want to reduce length on title tags that have over 75 characters, and add to titles with under 55 characters. Currently, we are seeing a good amount of both. So that's an easy win that you can start doing, and that's some of the stuff that's less technical. The meta descriptions, you can see we don't really want stars in them. We also don't want them to be too short, and we also don't want them to be missing. So meta tags on website need to be optimized. Same thing as the titles. If they are under 155 characters, I'm going to say way under. We'll just say like 135. We want to add to them. If they are over 155, we want to reduce them. You can make them a little bit longer these days, but that's usually a good rule. And then if they are missing, we want to add them. Also, we want to use best practices by not capitalize unnecessarily early, gosh darn it. unnecessarily capitalizing them, and also adding stars to them. It just doesn't look very good. It looks a little spammy, so we don't really want to do that. Okay, next we got the meta keywords, which it looks like we are not using, which is great. Keep scrolling over. And then H1s. These are looking a little similar on these pages. We probably want to try to make them a little bit different, but I mean, I guess since they're, I would try not to use that in every, I would say maybe try to make H1s a little bit more unique. Try to make H1s a little bit more unique. Hopefully they are different on every page. And also add to the missing add missing 2 pages missing them. Cool. So we're going to keep scrolling over. H2s share this product on every page. I guess that's okay. Keep scrolling, keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Canonicals look good. Word counts on some of those pages look good, but of course, like we were saying with the other pages, we want to make them longer. And then we're looking at the in links. So it looks, so this is something that I said pretty soon, or in the beginning. It looks like there's some pages that are not really internally linking contextually. So a lot of these internal links are probably from the images, and we probably want some more contextually relevant internal linking, and then external linking if possible. So let's go to images and see if we got anything going on over there in terms of missing alt tags or alt text. So we're only missing 7 alt texts on these, which I think these are just part of the sliders, not that big of a deal. And then that's pretty much a lot of the stuff I look at in Screaming Frog. There's of course a lot of other things that we could look at, but looks like that's pretty decent. And then it looks like there's a couple that are the robots.txt is blocking, like the cart, the account login. That's okay. And it looks like there are some 301s going on here. We want to make sure that we are pointing to the direct link. So fix 301s so they are pointing to direct links. And all of this stuff I can export if you don't have Screaming Frog, although it is a free thing to do. It's pretty easy to do. Or if you need my help, I can help you out too. So yeah, and that's the cool thing about Screaming Frog too, guys, is you can go through all these different things and see what it's picking up as like problems. Also, if we go to site architecture, we can see the click depth. So a lot of the URLs are actually only 2 clicks in depth, which is great. That's a good sign that we're not leaving out a lot of content, like in terms of it being more than a couple clicks in depth. All right, let's go look at some competitors. So what we'll do for that is we'll just grab this URL and we'll plug them into, I think Ahrefs actually does competitor research, I'm not sure. Oh yeah, one of the things that you really want to do is the conversion tracking if you're not doing it already, so let's check that out. So we'll go into here, we'll go to conversions, we'll go to goals, and then we'll go to overview. Yeah, so that hasn't been set up yet. So that's something that's really important to do. So set up conversion tracking to start monitoring values off different networks, especially Google. And then set up rank tracking to start measuring results with on-page or off-page SEO you may be doing. And then that's really easy too. All you have to do is export keywords from Search Console or Ahrefs and plug them into something like SEO Profiler or Moz, etc. It just corrected me from Moz to Mom. Okay. So we'll cancel out of here. So yeah, one of the things that's really good to do is to look at what competitors are ranking for and start building out content. It looks like, from what I'm seeing, we don't really have a blog on here, which one of the big things for this is content marketing. And it looks like we're already pulling traffic through social. So the fact that we wouldn't be doing a blog, actually it looks like we have it here, it's just not being linked to from the menu. So it looks like they're doing giveaways, which is probably something that's going on Instagram. So let's click on this. We got blog news, our third category, and it doesn't look like we're actually categorizing the different blogs. Hold on, while this loads, guys, I'm gonna use the restroom really quickly. I'll be right back. As usual. Okay, so Jan says, Chase, what do you do when keywords too similar? Let's say hotel XXX, hotels XXX, hotels in XXX. So you would just want to go for whatever the main keyword is, and then semantically Google's probably going to start picking up for the other related keywords for that. All right. Unless they're completely different, like unless there's completely different user intents behind them, then you have to figure out what the user intent is and then what's going to provide the best user experience for that intent, and then start optimizing around that, if that makes sense. So let's add that that URL in here. So we got a UR rating of 11, which is a little bit more than what Moz was picking up. DR of 36, which is interesting. And then what we want to look at is the competitors. I don't know if Ahrefs does this, but it looks like competing domains might be one of them. Also, I want to explore these other things. I might be doing a review on Ahrefs in the future, checking out all these different things and what they do. Okay, so you can see we got some related keywords apparently from different websites. So it looks like, of course, Pinterest and all these big ones. I wish that Ahrefs just automatically remove those, because, of course, they're going to be somewhat competing with, huge websites like that. I wonder if we just go to like volume. Let's see. See, I haven't really experimented with this that much, so I don't know. If we just click on this, I wonder what would happen in terms of the keywords. Oh, we can actually just pull. All right. Well, the best way to do it, from what I already know, is just to go to like something like SEMrush. But you'll see right here, like Pokemon Yellow Price is something that I think we're ranking like 76 for, and then there's other people who are ranking a lot higher, of course. And then if we were to go in there, we might be able to see what we could do to start optimizing for those things. So either way, what it comes down to is start doing competitive research and looking for low-hanging fruit on what competitors are targeting, and start building out content. Or one of the you can do a couple things. Start building out content around these keywords, and also consider doing some competitive link building, which means just looking at the linking domains that are linking to the competitors and seeing if you can grab any of those, as long as they're not super spammy. I always prefer building out content before trying to do link building, generally because if you can build up enough authority with your content marketing and start building like some sort of email list, Facebook group, or whatever, you're going to start being able to get links a lot faster and a lot more relevant links for keywords you may be ranking for already. Some other easy wins that could start being utilized on this site is to look at some of the main keywords that we're already ranking for, looking for the positions, and I recommend this in a lot of my audits, and start going for keywords that are like ranking in like positions 4 to 9. So all you have to do is just go like this, filter by positions, and we probably actually want to go by the last 90 days instead of the last 30 days. So we go set date range, last 90 days. And then we can start filtering by positions again. Let me go back over here. And then we scroll down. And generally you only want to go for things that have like a huge click rate, or impressions or whatever, but are ranking like in positions 4 to 9. If they have like no impressions, no clicks in like a position 4, then there's really no point going for them. Unless you have a really, really low click-through rate and a lot of impressions. So a lot of these, like in positions 4 to 9, you'll see there's like, not really that many impressions. So a lot of these you probably wouldn't even want to go for. Maybe something like this with a 15% click-through rate and 2 clicks, but there's only 13 impressions. So again, it's a little bit more difficult. Also, what you can do is you can start building out content. So this is a good one right here. What I was going to say is you can start building out AdWords campaigns with broad match for around your main keywords, and start like spending like a couple hundred and seeing actually what some of the main keywords are that people are clicking on and using those. So I'm going to say start looking at products or pages that are ranking in positions 4 to 9, and do basic on-page or link silos, or even CTR optimization. There's tons of stuff you can do for keywords like, I'll just copy this one. Let's check out what else is going on here. So you can see right here there's like giveaways, but there isn't really any sort of content upgrades, which is collecting like emails or funneling people to like a group or anything. So I would say on blog posts or giveaways, try to start collecting emails and doing content upgrades, as well as considering funneling these email signups into a Facebook group, because that works really well right now. Cool. The other thing is like, basic stuff like schema markup. Let's see if these things are being marked up. So let's go into our Moz bar, click it open, go to page analysis, we'll go to markup, structured data testing tool, and let's go to one of our other pages too while we're waiting on this one, because we want to make sure our product pages are being marked up correctly as well. And then hopefully we can start collecting some reviews too for these products and start getting aggregate ratings showing. I'll explain what that means too in a second. So let's just go to cute Pikachu iPhone case. So you can see right now there isn't really any reviews or anything. I don't know if this pulls schema once there is reviews from Shopify, so let me just copy that. So it looks like organization is showing on every page. Organization markup is showing on every page. This isn't necessary. And then the article markup has a lot of errors, so need to fix article markup on blog posts. There are 5 errors currently. Alright. So let's check out the product page. So we'll go into here. Actually, I can just copy this and then plug it straight into here. Also, repurposing content is going to be really huge on this website. You can start doing reviews. You could do all kinds of things. So like, for instance, this is probably also a search on YouTube. So I would consider repurposing content on other big platforms like YouTube. Mainly because you can, like I said, do like easy stuff. So could easily get a $5 or a Fiverr video for YouTube about your different products that may already have high positions in search, and you can also embed those on your website. Or you can just do a review yourself. It's up to you. Doing the review yourself, you're definitely going to get better results from that. So the product markup looks good, except there's no reviews. So I think Shopify is already pulling all this information for you, so you don't have to worry about this. So that looks good. For some reason the image isn't showing. I don't know why. Looks like it's there. Whatever. So next, let's just go to some of these other pages. Go to jackets. Also, I don't know if we need all of these links in the footer. I think it's kind of unnecessary, but if you want to keep them, you can. I'm just going to say I don't know. I don't think it's necessary to have all the links you have in the footer. If it was me, I'd probably take them out and replace it with some sort of sign up giveaway, like email. I'm going to say I would rather see you replace the footer with footer links with some sort of giveaway in exchange for an email, etc. Also, because remarketing is really cheap, I would consider doing remarketing. Implementing remarketing tag on website. And even if you just implement it now and decide to do the remarketing later, at least you have, actually I think it's only a 30-day window, so maybe it doesn't matter too much, but. Alright, cancel out of there, cancel out of there. Okay, so yeah, I mean that's a lot of the big stuff. Let's actually see what the authority looks like in Google. So we'll get out of there, go over here, put in the name. So this looks pretty good. Not showing up in the knowledge graph yet, but I mean we don't have that much authority. And we are doing well on, it looks like we are doing well on social, so that's good. But you can see right here that the titles are being cut off. So I'm going to start building out those top things that need to be built out. And like I said, you can get a lot more. I could get a lot more granular with this stuff, but really, what it's going to come down to is doing a lot of testing, and a lot of the basic changes need to be implemented first. So, for instance, number one is get content marketing going. Targeting main keywords, or targeting semantically relevant keywords. I would go for long form content and build in content upgrades or email signups, and create funnel to start building audience. Audience as well as links. The next thing I would do is the basic on page. So basic on page. That means fixing titles, metas, H1s, 301s, etc. The third thing would be start focusing on topical seeding. So like we said before, instead of shirts, it would be, your keyword would be, instead of targeting just shirts, you would be targeting anime shirts online. 4 would be on-page link silos and building out content for top pages. So this doesn't have to be for every single product, but for, you know, some of your main product pages or your main category pages, you want to do that. Number 5 would fix schema markup. And then also, since there's a lot of stuff going on social, I would also probably fix the OG data and add social share buttons on sidebar with SumoMe. Number 7 would be set up conversion tracking and rank tracking. Number 8 would be, I would say consider doing remarketing, but you know, whatever. I would fix above the fold content taking up too much room and add CTAs on homepage. The next thing that I would do is, see, a lot of that stuff was basic on page. This kind of has to do with the content marketing, but I would start repurposing content on different channels, and get signups at the very least, instead of just sales, to an email list or Facebook group. And I would start looking at top ranking or content that's getting clicks and impressions, ranking in positions 4 to 9, and SEO with basic on-page building out content, doing link silos from other authority pages on website, etc. So I always call this the top 10, and then I should be calling it the initial roadmap, because honestly, after doing a lot of these changes, you really want to go in there and see what are the more technical things that can be changed once you do a lot of these things. But like I said, these are a lot of the big things that should probably be fixed first. Germanic Invader says, my client is having an OS commerce website. How can I perform SEO on an OS commerce website? I don't know what OS is. Is that like operating system commerce? What the heck? Imran says, hi, how to get rich snippets. I'd have to do another video on that, because there's a lot that goes into that. Kyle Arnold says, is the pages and collections a major problem? I mean, I don't know if it's a major problem. I just don't know why Shopify would build out like their URL structure like that. Seems pretty silly to me. It's just like, why? It's just kind of an extra, like, why would you put slash pages? Like, you already know it's another page. Just seems silly. So yeah, I mean, that's probably what I'm going to call it for this one. Like I said, probably want to do another audit after a lot of these things get implemented, but definitely will they'll be getting pushed in the right direction by doing a lot of those basic changes, and then starting to do things like tracking the conversions and starting like content marketing around their main topics and that sort of stuff. And then for the questions, let me see if I can answer a couple of those right now. I guess I can go to it right here. I don't know why, but Facebook has been taking forever to load for me lately. The internet's terrible here, as you already know, but still. Scroll down. Probably should open this beforehand. Here it is. Alright. Okay, now it's automatically scrolling and I can't stop it. Stop it! Okay, well, if this doesn't stop, I may just make another video about this. Okay, it's not stopping. There's too much lag here. I'm gonna have to make another video for the Q&A. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you need help